G'day guys, so in the last video I made a big reflector array to blind attackers, where lights placed on one side would reflect off the other side. In this video I'll make this one, which is more sniper's blind, which will use lights projecting up through the sloped ceilings to white out the entire structure. So I'll make this structure and then later in the video we'll go have a look at some more structures. Anyway, it's a relatively simple construction. I'll make this one 3 wide. And now I have to drop another foundation 3 levels lower. So start with a pillar in the centre of the foundation, then one on the side at the lower snap point. Pick up the one in the centre, and another one in the centre, again at the lower snap point. Okay, so now find the low snap point next to that with the foundation. And place 3 of those. And the pillar's no longer needed. Now if the ground slopes up a bit, you might have a trouble getting it 3 levels lower. In that case, the video that you need is this one, so raising foundations. So raise the first foundation, then drop the second one down 3. In Arc there's nearly always a way of achieving what you want to do. Anyway, off the front foundation, 3 walls up at the side. You can go higher depending on your needs. And the front wall goes up 1 lower. And I forgot the door like I normally do. Okay, now ceiling across from the front wall. Okay, so now I'm going to place the back wall down. So starting off the back foundation, I'm going to go 6 walls higher. And now fill in the rest. And I forgot the door again, so 3 walls high there should be a door. And now a ceiling across the top. And 3 walls down. And the front wall comes down twice. Okay, now some more ceilings, 1 wall high out the front. And match that for the top. Now 3 internal ceilings across the top. And again I forgot that bloody door. These doors are just to lay and move the lights and turn them on. Right, now it's the sloped reflectors. Okay, so start placing it from the right hand side so it slopes up towards you. And the top should slope down. Now just extend that all the way. So that's the internal reflectors down. Now just to put the outside ones down. These are all slope ceilings, there's no ramps used yet. You won't be able to place a bottom row, you'll have to place a wall on the left hand side. And then you should be able to find a snap point with the ceiling facing down towards you. Extend that across and then you can pick up that wall and it'll all stay there. Okay, so now that's the basic structure finished. And now to place the lights down. Now where you place the lights can depend on where their approach is coming from. Because this is straight ground, I'm just going to put it all in the centre. If you want to cover more of a vertical arc, you might want to stagger them to the front and back. So I'll put 7 down on the bottom and the top. And now up the top I'm going to do the exact same thing. I was asked if you can use just standing lamps. Well, the answer is not really. You might get away with it on aberration in some builds, but elsewhere it's just not bright enough. Anyway, just again, I'll evenly place these along the centre. 7 in total. Now I'll put the generator down. You'll want to box this in, but I'm just going to slap it at the back here. And now that you've got it on, you want to go through and switch on every light. You may also want to put in a keypad if that generator is also going to be using powering turrets, which it probably will. Okay, so now that should all be complete. And now you've got a blinding reflector hiding that sniping slit. So as you can see, it's midday on the tropical island on the centre map. As I said on the last video, this won't work everywhere, but it does work here, and works on aberration, works on the island. Not particularly well on Ragnarok though. And the view from inside isn't bad. You can always scope out of a reflection, but you can't scope into one. If you've built this in a location where the reflection is not bright enough, you can add more reflectors to fix that, so that's what I'll build here. So just double down on the reflectors, so that'll amplify the light as it shines up through all those ceilings. If that makes no sense, you'll have to watch the previous video. So that's it. It is ugly, but as I said, the more reflectors you add, the more will shine up through it and the more the light will be amplified. So I'll just turn this on and we'll go back and have a look. I'll try and get as far away as possible. Not the best location to test it, but as you can see, you can't scope into anything there, just a big ball of white light. Now those added reflectors do shine back inside a little bit, so you can see across the top rim. But as I said before, you can always scope out through a reflection. Here's a similar structure on AB. It's just got a couple side reflectors placed down and a few more lights around the outside. Now this one is on the centre map. This was a experimental wall that I built. Just a turret wall. I built this one properly with backup generators and all the cabling protected. Now if I turn it back on, what you'll notice with this one is I didn't complete it. If you're looking straight at it, you can see it doesn't completely white out the structure. Only at the bottom left it is. So I'll show you how I fixed that. So the reflectors were extended up into the pillars in that section. And hit those reflectors, I added some more lights. Push towards the back. So they'd hit those new reflectors at the correct angle. It's all about experimentation. You have to do this in single player and work out what works for you. This reflector should hit all those other angles just fine. Okay, what else have we got here? This is actually a reflector that I did build on the official service. Although I never did get quite enough lights together to completely blind it out. I tried to make it too big. This was an observation deck to look out over the top of the wall and snipe down on anyone approaching. So you see all the lights hanging beneath it, attached to giant hatch frames. They also had turrets on them on the official servers. And this was where you could observe and snipe down on people coming in. And from the approacher's point of view, all they should see is a big bright white light. This light had to shine over a wide angle to cover all the approaches. Okay, so this is an experiment that I did to blind out mounted turrets. I never built these on the official server, but maybe I should have, as this cave was raided, although I wasn't on at the time. So this is a pedal reflector, much like the one that we built in the last video. It has positives and negatives. It has a very wide angle of reflection, but when you're inside it, it's very bright. It was hard to see out of that one, so that's why I built this one. So it just has a stacked reflectors with the lights down the bottom. Anyway, I'll turn this one on. It still works perfectly well to hide anyone mounted on the gun. The only downside to this reflector is the upward angle. It's nowhere near as high as the other pedal reflector next to it. But you can see out of it much better. I'll just show you the difference in the reflection angle of those two builds, and then I'll give this topic a rest. So as you can see, the pedal reflector is much better. Anyway, another long video. These videos always go forever when I try to put everything into them. God, what do you want in the next video?